Always popping to that music.
Well, not because it's a jam, and we love our jams. Hey, everybody, welcome to Good Health by Claudia, podcast with me, Denny Schaefer, a production of Denny Radio. This, of course, is the star of the show. This is Claudia. I'm Denny. I'm nobody. Welcome to episode 123. Yeah, it's me. Episode 123, clicking these bad boys off, and we're so thankful for all of you that are doing your part, and that is share these videos, share Lauren's shorts, all those wonderful clips that she does. They're awesome. Make sure you share them because we want to get the word out. We want to make sure people stop getting drugged and get nourished. I worked it in right away. I'm just like, I'm not kidding around today because sometimes I forget. Which funny. I love that slogan. When are the bumper stickers going to be available at Health Foods by Claudia?
We have not made them yet. But
I don't think anybody does bumper stickers anymore,
I don't
quite
know.
honestly. You know what you need? You need magnets.
Oh.
Magnets. Get drug, get nourished, people. All right. Every week we always have, very interesting guests, and we have another one for you today. This guy is a radio host. He's a podcaster. His podcast is called Honest Health. Yep. And I was peeping it out the other day when you told me who we were going to be talking to. I'm like, okay, this cat's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like he's going to be a good time. He is Dr. Cool. Jeffrey Burke, NDMH. Ooh, he's got a lot of initials after his name. And he's been in the industry for 40 years. And we're going to talk about products from, I'm assuming he's part of the company Kokora. And let's welcome him to the podcast. Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
So happy you're with us.
Oh, yes. My pleasure. I'm so glad that we finally were able to connect and make this work.
Well, I tried, what did I reach out to you maybe 3 months ago or whatever it was. And then he showed up at the store last week or whenever he was traveling. And I was actually not at the store, and they called and said, Dr. Jeffrey Burke is here. I said, I'll be there in a minute. And God love him. There he was. And we had a wonderful conversation.
Does that happen very often where like big time guys like him just show up?
Well, he wanted to, I'm grateful. He stopped by the store to say hello.
What'd you think of the store, Jeff?
I love the store, and the people are fantastic. And, she's been doing it right since the very beginning. And, she's an industry icon. So I was down in Dayton. I was on my way up to Michigan, and I said, Toledo, not that far. Boom. Just drove up. And I was so glad I did because we got to spend time.
We did. And I'm so grateful. Thank
you.
Where
in Michigan were you spending time?
Up with my family up in Ann Arbor.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, that is awesome. Go blue. Mm-hmm. All right. Where are we starting? What are we talking about today with Dr. Jeffrey?
Well, first, just give us a quick little background of a lot of the stuff. You've done a lot of stuff in the industry. And I just want to say, as all of you know, that tune in every week, which we're grateful. We're all about heart and soul. Right. The people that come on, they have their heart in the right place when it comes to what we do. They're just not out there selling stuff for the sake of selling stuff. So Jeffrey's been in the industry. He's been very involved, and he's an inspiration to a lot of people. And how long have you had your radio show?
My radio show, I'm in my 47th year in the natural products industry. My radio show lasted 42 years, and I did over 20,000 shows.
Wow.
And then radio kind of took a little bit of a turn because of new technology. So then I moved over to my podcast, and I've had that about a year now, doing well, getting ready to go to 5 episodes a week starting in December.
Oh, very cool.
Wow. And loving what I'm doing. I've been very blessed to work with the best of the best. I've launched hundreds of lines and worked with thousands of the best guests you can even think of. And the podcast's a little different. I still have all my healthy people from the industry, but now I'm also interviewing professional athletes and entertainers and authors and writers. And
that is so exciting.
And fun people that just have a message.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
So
sounds like we got to step up our game for our podcast. Is what I'm hearing from Dr. Jeffrey. He's having like celebrities and big time people.
We're getting there.
Well,
I live in Vegas. There's a lot of them here.
Oh, you're in Vegas. Oh,
I live in Vegas. Yeah.
In City. All right. Well, when you interview the devil, let us know because we
will.
No, I'm kidding. All right, Claudia.
Anyway, today we're going to talk about some wonderful products from a company that Jeffrey is an educator for, Kokora. And the owner, Rick, he's just a wonderful man, heart of gold. I was very blessed when he started Gaia Herb many years ago. And when I was invited to his farm, as people from the industry were, I knew he loved herbs, but to see him out on that, he had 350 acres, I believe it was. And to see him interacting with these herbs and the plants and how he handled them, that's why he puts his heart and soul into what he does. So he started this other wonderful company, Kokora. So tell us about Kokora. They mainly are mushroom activity, correct?
No, they're actually more herbal, and some are mushroom added in as well. But
Okay.
Rick, after he left Gaia, he bought a 110-acre farm down in Costa Rica. It was a sugarcane plantation, and
wow.
he converted it into a certified organic farm, which then went to a certified organic regenerative farm. And they were just awarded, they're in their, I think, third year now of their gold standard certification for their soil, which is the best you can get.
That is amazing.
So they grow all his own herbs. I spent time on the farm. I watched him, interacting with the plants like they were children.
Exactly.
And we were sitting down in the dirt in the turmeric field, picking and harvesting turmeric and planting passion flower, and in the Bacopa greenhouse. And, it's just amazing what he's done. And I seriously thought he was done, but his mission is not over.
No, he's got a very important mission and a message. And I'll tell you, it's that kind of integrity and love for what he's doing that has made our industry special all these years. People like Rick anyway. So we're going to talk about a few products today. We do have a slide. Usually I bring the products and Denny likes to put them in his pile, but we were out of a couple SKUs, so we made
I'm kind of bummed out about that.
So the whole line is wonderful. I picked 3 different things. A lot of people are coming in. They're concerned about their memory. A lot of people are having trouble sleeping. And of course, a lot of people, because they're having trouble sleeping, they're having trouble with energy.
Right.
So that's why we're going to talk about these 3 products today. So wherever you want to start.
Well, first of all, I did want to mention that Regenerative, you and I were around when the original organic launched.
Yes.
When people said we were so happy about it, but 30, 40 years later, we're at a point where we did not pay attention to the soil. So that's where Regenerative comes in. We're thinking about the soil. Organic is about the crop, and Regenerative is about the soil. So we're at the point where we need to do that. So saying that, lion's mane mushroom has been around for a very, very long time. And the wonderful thing is it's used all over the world. It's been used for hundreds of years. Some people are learning about it for the very first time. This is the fruiting body, which is a little bit more advanced on the growth stage. People may know mycelium, which is the earlier form of the mushrooms, but this is the fruiting body. They are both beneficial. So I wanted to make sure that's clear. The wonderful thing about lion's mane is if you go to Asia and you speak with traditional Chinese medicine doctors or herbalists, where in this country, the first thing we talk about is the brain and brain function and supporting, a healthy mood and stress. What ends up happening is a lot of the people that are actually taking lion's mane think it's only for the brain. But when you go to Asia, they talk about it for the gut. So they talk about it for gut health and gastrointestinal health. And if you've read any of the books that are out on the 2 brains, basically the head brain and the gut brain, and you follow the mentality of the Chinese medicine physicians, they will tell you that when you get your gut brain in order, your head brain comes in order as well.
Yes.
Now, what Rick did differently is he added a regenerative herb to each of the mushrooms, and he couldn't have picked a better one than Bacopa. There was a time when ginkgo biloba was the main thing. We thought it was the end all for the brain activity. Ginkgo is great. It does take the train and get the blood to the brain.
Yes.
But Bacopa, it gets on the train, it rides up there with ginkgo, but when it gets there, it opens up all the neural pathways. Let's say this is the city and it opens up all the suburbs. So it gives you better focus, better retention.
Great analogy.
Unbelievable benefit. So this is not only good on the one side, but the value proposition is you get, the Bacopa leaf. Now the Bacopa in here is 90 milligrams a capsule or 180 per 2 capsules, but it's measured at a 5.5%, which means every time you take one of these wonderful capsules, you're getting lion's mane and the equivalent of 495 milligrams of Bacopa. So this is not just dust. This is a heavy duty formula for people that want something for supporting mental health, gut health, memory and retention, and also working on their mood. So beautiful formula by Ric.
And it's what is it, 2 a day?
I would recommend starting with 1 a day, because
Yeah.
when you're doing things that are regenerative in the base, they're much stronger.
Yep.
So it's easier to start here and go up than it is to
Right.
start here and go back.
Right.
So I say one of the best things we can do is just start with 1.
And it's funny. We always say that start low, work up.
Low and slow.
It's yes. And
Any contraindications with other meds? That's my question every podcast. Any contraindication? It makes me
and I'm so happy that you asked that. And no, not really in this at all. Very safe. I don't recommend any of the Kokora products to people under probably 16 or 17. They're not made for children. They're made for adults and with adult health problems or adults looking for healthy support. So I don't recommend that children use these at all, even though many parts of Asia, they are raised on it and they eat lion's mane quite frequently. And if you've ever had lion's mane before, or you want to experiment, get some lion's mane. It is now available at a lot of your health food markets. Chop it up, saute it in some butter and onions, and I kid you not, it tastes like lobster. Quite amazing, and it's really good tasting.
So let me ask you something. When we look at a product like what we're talking about versus taking that same mushroom and using it in a culinary fashion, you're not getting the same activity, correct? Or you are?
Yes and no, because what happens when you're using it in this form, it has been concentrated, so it is a little bit stronger. But do people that have a history of eating lion's mane on a regular basis, are they getting the benefit? Absolutely. Because even though it's culinary, it's still a culinary nutritional supplement in a food form. So the people that have been eating it for a long time have been getting the benefits ongoing. And but I know a lot of people that eat lion's mane, but they're also taking it in supplement. Like I myself, I come from an Alzheimer's family. Not that I condone this for helping with Alzheimer's, but I know that I genetically need to keep my brain healthy. And I need to challenge myself and do things that are beneficial for the brain. So I do this. I take ginkgo and I take other things like Prevagen and things for the brain that give me the nutrition I need for the brain, because I'm on the road a lot.
Yeah.
And being on the road a lot, I'm not always getting the food quality that I want. So I make sure that I fill the gaps.
Yes. And I just want to throw in, as we always do, we talk about brain health is really gut health, which you already brought that up. Yep. So especially in this culture, it's reminding people, get rid of the junk and you'll wake up your brain. So
we have to remember, Claudia, and you know this as much as I do, if your gut is not healthy, everything is unhealthy. Because everything starts in the gut. Because as food and nutrition come in, if it can't be properly digested, if it can't be properly broken down, and it can't be dispersed to the body, the entire body suffers. So gut health is important. And we have so many people out there that are using acid suppressive drugs to get rid of their gas and bloating, and they're actually shutting down their digestion. They're not supporting it. It's just the symptoms are gone. So they think they're fixed rather than just taking an enzyme and a probiotic and some aloe vera and some greens to get to the source of the problem. They cover it up and they think, okay, I fixed it. No, you covered it up.
Right. But people are doing that because I think it's fair to say the approach of Western medicine is symptomatic management, right?
Absolutely,
I mean,
100%.
Doctors will acknowledge that. It's not about getting to the crux or the core of the issue. It's symptomatic management. And we have millions of people that are living that way. And it's very sad. But I am grateful to see more people are understanding taking all these drugs is not the answer because they still feel crummy.
I had a really good friend and she was on one of the acid suppressive drugs for about 15 years.
Oh boy.
And it says on the label used for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So she got off of it because she had a brand new doctor that said, you can't be on this. So they did a DEXA scan and her bones, she was 50. Her bones were that of an 85-year-old woman. And he said, you have not been absorbing minerals the entire time you've been on this drug. So no calcium to the bone. Well, so her regimen has changed dramatically.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you mess with the gut, you mess with the biochemistry of the whole system.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
So, all right. What's the second? Let's see the slide again. Next is the regenerative sleep. They're all great formulas.
They really, really are. And I think that I really like this formula probably more than a lot of them because of the fact that I have launched hundreds of sleep formulas on my radio show over the years. And not that I'm a melatonin hater, because I'm not. But the thing is, there's a lot of people that do not want to take melatonin anymore for whatever reason. Now, melatonin does have wonderful benefits, immune benefits, longevity benefits. But a lot of people don't like the idea, for many of them, of having very lucid dreams or getting up in the morning and having a heavy head. So when Rick formulated this, he decided not to add melatonin. I was very pleased because he used Chinese skullcap, he used passion flower, ashwagandha, and lemon balm. Now, the wonderful thing about this product is you can use it 3 different ways. You can take it at bedtime to initially start the sleep process. But if you get up in the middle of the night, you can take it again. Or do both, bedtime and middle of the night if you get up. The great thing is no heavy head, no hangover, no head in the clouds. You know, living living out here on the west side of the country, you know, I do a lot of trainings early in the morning. And if I'm training a group on the East Coast, you know, they're going to be wanting to do a training at 7 in the morning. That's 4 o'clock in the morning out here where I am. So I can't use melatonin because I won't be able to be clear-headed. I won't be able to do what I want to do and be awake and all that kind of stuff. So that being said, I can now use something that gives me restful sleep, no heavy head hangover, and I wake up feeling really, really refreshed. So this product is doing really, really well. And when you start to really take a look at some of the ingredients that are in here, I mean, a lot of people realize that there's amazing things going on with this product. I mean, the 2 key factors is falling asleep and staying asleep. And when he formulated this, he used passion flower, which has a huge history for sleep, and lemon balm, which has a 2,000-year history on calming, and it's native to the the Mediterranean. It's phenomenal. Ashwagandha, and of course Chinese skullcap, which not only gives you a restful sleep, but supports serotonin and gives you that wonderful sedative effect that's important. So it's a beautiful formula. And so many people have trouble sleeping. I hope they'll give this one a try.
And I appreciate what you're saying about melatonin because, customers will come in to help sleep, and melatonin is the last product I will ever go to because so many people wake up feeling groggy, and I'm thinking, well, they must not really need that approach. So melatonin is an important hormone, but I'm not one for help using it for people to sleep, but this is a great formula. So
yeah, he did really well with this one. And excuse me, it is a very big problem. People, they don't have energy during the day, and then they think they're going to recoup themselves at night, but they don't. So they're more tired, continued part 2 the next day, and it just keeps going and going. Most people get to the end of a 5-day week, and their first day off, it's nothing but recuperative. And they get like 1 day to do something, and then they start it all over again. Because they never relax, they never sleep, they never recharge, they never decompress, and they're paying the price.
And that's why I'm a big fan of adrenal support. We have a lot of people, they get in that vicious cycle like you're talking about, and their adrenals are just going this way. So now in the energy, we should have shown, next time we'll show the ingredients. We should have
with the regenerative energy, you've got cordyceps and schizandra, which is the part that really kind of gives the energy. Ginger is actually very energizing to the body. Ashwagandha, holy basil, very stress balancing. But mucuna is in here. Now, people don't know about mucuna. Mucuna is one of the best sources of L-dopa, which is great for dopamine production in the brain. So when you're taking the energy formula, you're getting a little bit more pep in your step with no caffeine. You're getting a little bit more energy during the day when you need it. Not enough that it's going to keep you awake, but the mucuna is energizing the brain. It's getting that dopamine going. So when you're feeling not memory, but just brain sluggish, mucuna, you get the benefit. So brain and body kind of natural energy, but no shakiness, no caffeine, no stimulant, just usable energy.
I like mucuna matata. There you go. I contributed. Woo!
That's funny. Lion King.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I think I could make that line work. Anyway, back to the product. I'll go back to sleep.
So, there's so many beautiful herbs to teach people about, and that's what we're doing all the time, and you're doing all the time. And if ever this country can really, really embrace herbology, so much will change. It's so much will improve.
Claudia, we did embrace it for many, many years. It was the only thing we had. I remember as a child picking dandelion, picking herbs with my grandmother, and out of everything, the natural medicine, never went to doctors.
Right.
And then all of a sudden pharmaceuticals came around, and people kind of slid into them, and it got really easy. So this is kind of the second coming of herbs.
Well,
I don't know whether it's from a desperation or whether we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, or people want to maybe go back to when things were easier and actually more beneficial without the side effects. I mean, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm happy to see the people reaching back to herbs.
Well, and I definitely think that the internet has played a big role, because it's giving everyone that understands all these things a bigger voice.
Right.
I mean, I think about all the years growing up in a health food store. I don't know if I mentioned this to you when we talked, but I grew up at Bassett's, and Joe and Pat Bassett, where you knew Joe.
I did.
Did you know Joe?
Yes.
Yeah. And, he was big in the industry, and they were wonderful, wonderful, knowledgeable people. And growing up in that environment, plus my mother was into herbs, it used to frustrate me that, too many people didn't know about herbs. Now I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it was hard to get the word out.
Yeah.
Things in newspaper that was always condemning different herbs. And so I think the whole internet thing has played a big role in changing a lot of things in life. And certainly I think for our industry, because now we can talk about these things and get them out to a larger group.
I know you hate the internet.
I don't hate it. I just, Chat
GPT, we've talked about that on our podcast before, but it's waking people up.
Well,
that there are other avenues that they can take, and they don't have to go, buy into the big lie of pharmaceuticals. I mean, I'm 67 years old and I'm not on a single pharmaceutical. All of my friends, every single one, is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and more daily pills, blood thinners and blood pressure and cholesterol. And they're like, how come you're not on, not on anything? And I tell them, well, check out Tuesday at noon, Claudia's podcast, because I'm sitting right next to her and I've learned.
Right.
And if we wouldn't have started this, how many years ago? 4 years ago?
5, I think.
At least.
Whatever.
And I know that I would be going down the same road as everybody else. Just give me a pill, doc. And, and then you wonder why you feel like garbage. You're not getting good sleep. Your stomach's, messed up.
All the
You're
side
irritable. Effects. You got shakes and, so I'm thankful for the internet for that you can get information that your doctor's never going to tell you. He's not going to tell you, well, you could stop by, Claudia's Health Foods and, no, they're not going to do that.
Well, I have to say,
some do.
We have a lot of docs that refer to us over the years, and I'm very grateful.
I agree with you 100%. The way that I like to describe it is I say, if you're going to do pharmaceutical medicine, what are you trading in response for getting what you're getting from that drug? What are you losing?
Right.
If you're doing something for blood pressure, what are you doing for your energy or something else?
Right.
The thing is, they have their place. I give them that. Drugs and medicine are life-saving, but they're also can be life-preserving, and they can also be harmful. We know this. But at least with supplementation, you're adding, you're not subtracting.
Right.
You're adding good things in. You're adding those building blocks, and you're filling the cracks and the crevices that we may personally have created ourselves with our lifestyles and our choices. Nonetheless, I think that, like I said, I don't prescribe to the drugs. I mean, I never make them my first choice for anything, because I think we had other things in line long before they were around. Mm-hmm. Do I respect them for what they are? Yes. Do I want to recommend them? No, not so much.
Right. Well, and I think that, for those of us that have been in this industry over the years, we've been blessed to truly witness the ability of the human body to heal, which is what it's designed to do. But you have to give it a chance. Mm-hmm. Docs are doing what they're trained in. And listen, I have a lot of friends that are doctors. I respect their training. Yep. It doesn't mean that I agree with their training, but I respect what they go through to become a doctor.
True.
And I think it's fair to say, pharmaceuticals, they're important for true crisis. But when it comes to everyday health, drugs don't have a place in that, in my opinion. That's where nourishing herbology comes in, and which is exactly what we're talking about, all these beautiful formulas.
You know, somebody said to me one time, I don't understand why so many more people are sick today than they were, let's say, 100 years ago. And I said, well, there's more stress today. People are burnt out, fried out. There's more pollution. There's more chemicals. But beside that, let's just get to the easiest part of it. Food was food.
Right.
100 years ago. Today is food stuff. And
Exactly.
if you watch these exposés as they're analyzing what's really in food, it's frightening. And the amount of chemicals they're using, there's more people, so more chemicals to make more food, but it's not high quality. So many times the stress and the quality of the food we're consuming, they're some of the main culprits.
Well, I think in this culture, I think that's where we start, right? We always tell people, change what you're eating.
Yep.
You have to get rid of the junk.
Yep.
And everybody, I think, the people that are, it's a daily walk. We always say that. You can't change everything overnight, but you do what you can. And you put your heart behind it.
And that's why we do the podcast.
That's why we do the podcast. And that's why you're doing yours. It's exciting.
All right. So
It really
anything else on our products?
I tell people to make sure you give them a chance.
Yeah.
You're dealing with regenerative. You're dealing with things that are probably more potent than you've ever used. And I recommend starting low on the dosage.
Yes.
If it says 2, start with 1. You can always increase, but you may not need it.
But that's what I was asking. Is the serving size, I forget what it is. Is it 1 or 2 for the serve? That's what I
2.
thought. So start low, work up.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good stuff, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Anything else you want to cover that we didn't about those products?
No, I just tell people to give them a try. I think Rick has already proven himself in the industry many times, and he's continuing to do so. And I think he's just basically picking up where he left off and just giving people a lot more choice and knowing that people need something better and more effective, that they can see the difference. And I thank you so much for what you're doing. You guys are awesome.
Well, so are you. And, we're all contributing to hopefully to a greater awareness and, people opening their hearts to all this. It's so important. So anyway, it's been wonderful. We thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll talk soon, right?
Yes, we will. And everybody keep in mind, I'm going to have Claudia on my podcast upcoming soon. So we'll be switching seats.
I love that.
So it'll be fantastic. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Excellent.
It's called Honest Health, and it's available wherever you get your podcast.
On every platform. But if you want to watch the videos, go to my YouTube channel. And of course, subscribe. Subscribing gives my guest more visibility. And that's what it's all about.
Jeffrey, thank you so much. I'm sending you a big hug.
Good job, my man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, another good one.
Yeah.
Man, we're pretty awesome. No, that was great information.
Yeah.
And obviously he's a pro and he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
So, all right, we're at that part of the podcast where Claudia, I got to give you, make sure you share our podcast. And like you said, like the YouTube page. Give you the last word.
Well, as usual, we appreciate you guys being with us. I'm always thrilled when somebody will come up to me and say, I'm watching your podcast with you and Denny. It just excites me. I just love it. It's fun. And we're grateful to be doing what we're doing and that you're here with us. So keep the faith, everybody. There's a lot of beauty in the world. Find the love, find the blessings, focus on them. And we'll see you next week. Peace.